Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to be tackling inner joins. So yeah, as you can see, after inner joins, we're going to be doing left and right joins. Then we'll go into how to join multiple tables. It's actually something pretty easy once you understand how like the various types of joins that work. Disclaimer, left, right, and inner joins are not the only type of joins out there. We're going to do a couple more as time goes by. And yeah, why I just decided to do like a separate tutorial on how to join multiple tables is because I remember like the early days of my first role, I had like only practiced with joining two tables. I don't know why my head just didn't comprehend that you can and you should. No, you can, number one, join multiple tables. And the concept is not very different from how you join two tables. So yeah, I don't want anyone panicking, feeling scared, on your first day on the role. Like, I want you to get this exposure in advance. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, guys, let's get into it. The first thing I'm just going to do is just let you guys know, if you're not familiar with MySQL, I'm going to link out a tutorial down below. And in that tutorial, it will just show you how you can load the dataset provided in the description onto your MySQL. And yeah, let's code together. Let's practice some SQL together. And in case you don't have MySQL completely and you want to follow along with MySQL, you can honestly follow along with whatever platform you're comfortable with. But yeah, in case you don't have MySQL, in that same tutorial that will show you how to load your dataset onto MySQL, in its description, there's a link to a tutorial that helped me set up MySQL. So yeah, you can also check that out. Or else, let's start by looking into the dataset. So number one, I'm going to share this code with you here. So converting the respective data columns from text to data type. But for this particular exercise, we actually don't need that because we're not going to use any date functions. Yeah, so you don't need that. Yeah, you don't need that because we're not going to use any date functions. But when it comes to another tutorial that we're going to do in this series is just joining with multiple keys, then you'll need it, and that's when this will become useful. But I'll still just leave it there, and when I share the code for this tutorial, you can have it for, yeah, in case you want to explore further, at least you know what to do. And then secondly, we're working with 3 data sets. So number one, so it's in the, what's the schema? The schema is called shop data, and we're working with the client list table, debits, and purchase records. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the first question. And the first question is select and count only clients that made a purchase and show what they purchased. So I'm actually not going to answer the second one. We'll just select and count clients who have made a purchase here. So let's comment that out. So we have the client list table, and oh yeah, we have the client list table. That's actually what we need. And what you want to do is to just count everything that is in this table. Yeah. So as you can see, this is just a table of all the clients, or you can call them businesses that have ever purchased from us. Yeah. So there are no duplicates here. So it's like the business ID, the name of the client / business, the gender, and then where they're from. So when you count all, those are 20 businesses. Yeah. Now you can either count all or you can use business ID. Or you can use business ID. I always forget. So you still get 20, yeah? So the next thing I want us to do is to just take this purchases table. Let's bring it here. We can comment this out. Let's run this. So this is our purchases table, and here is a business ID. Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to count. Now here you have to count unique business ID, because as you can see, this is a business ID 1, yeah. And this business purchased, they purchased 3 items, yeah. So if you just count all on this table or count business ID, it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get. But if you do a count distinct, to count 1, 2, 3. So the business ID is only counted once. So distinct business ID. So let's run that and see. So as you can see, 19. So a total out of 20 businesses in the database, only 19 made purchases. Okay. So now what do we want to do? We want to select, we've already counted. So we want to select only clients that made a purchase. Yeah. So I'm not sure about showing what they purchased because I want to keep this tutorial simple. I don't want to complicate anything. Okay. So we can comment that out and we come back to our original. Yeah. So what we want here is to select all from top data. From client list here. But we also want some items from the purchase records table. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an inner join. So why do we want an inner join? Because the question specifies only client that made a purchase. So only. So what an inner join does, it joins two tables, but only on what they have in common. Yeah. So like, for example, we saw there were 20 businesses in the database, but only 19 made a purchase. So when you join the client list table of 20 to the 19 purchases, it's going to join on the 19 records. Yeah. So one business is going to be excluded from this because that business doesn't exist in the purchase. That business doesn't exist in the purchase table because it's not made a purchase yet. I really hope that makes sense. So the inner join joins based on what the two tables have in common. So if there's something that's on one table that's not on the other, it will be excluded. So if there was someone who made a purchase, but they're not on the business table, they'll be excluded. And if there's someone who was in the client list, sorry, not business table, client list table, and they are not in the purchases table, they'll be excluded. So that's what an inner join does. Yeah. So inner join, so purchases records. Yeah. And we want to join it on. So what does the purchase table here? So I want us to, so let's just comment that out first and run this. Okay. Then we can bring back. So what does the purchase table, purchase records table have in common with the client list? So if you come to the purchase records table, that's so as you can see, it has business ID, and the client list table also has business ID. Yeah. So we are going to join it on. So we need this client list table dot business ID is equals to, why is it highlighting, dot business ID. Yeah. And what do we want? We want to see purchased item. Yeah. So item purchased. Why is it? Anyway, we figure we'll see the error. Inner join. Yeah, so you're supposed to specify from, then inner join with this table. Yeah. So if we run this, there you go. So we have business ID, client name, gender, location, purchase ID. Who can tell me why both tables have come, despite the fact that we only specified purchase ID? So this is where aliasing comes in, yeah. So we want to select from the client list table, and we are joining it to the purchase records table on business. So on the client list table, business ID, and purchase records table, business ID. So you're supposed to specify, you're selecting everything from which table. So in our case, we want to select everything from the client list table. So because we didn't specify to SQL where it's picking from, it picked both. So it picked both, and then I think you notice it picked both, and then it picked item purchased again. So in this case, we are quote unquote, not even say lucky, like purchase ID does not exist on both tables. Sometimes you can find two things existing in two different tables. So it's also good practice to just specify, like anything you're picking it from which table. So we're picking item purchase from purchase records table. Yeah. So this particular example is just showing you how joins work, but I'm sure there are duplicates here. Because remember, we can see already. So like business ID 1 made 3 purchases. So the sofa set big, bed big, TV stand. Yeah. So this is actually okay because you can see this person has made 3 purchases. They're from, but yeah, this is okay. Like for this particular case, it's okay. So if you want to add anything, you can just specify purchase records dot, and the values was disturbing me, and what you want to add. So you people, I don't know why it's not appearing the way I want it to appear. So they're like some, I don't want to call them special codes. Like they're a specific type of codes that you're supposed to use when you're calling. So I'm not going to, I need to find them because normally when you just double click, it's supposed to appear, but I really don't know why it's not. So I've just picked this from like an old project that I did. And I'm just going to use these quotes. But yeah, if anyone can help me understand why it's not picking it the way it should, please let me know down in the comments below. Now you can see the 3 items they purchased, or what they purchased, and the value. And yeah, so what we are going to do is just verify if we actually have 19 entries, yeah, and at this point we're going to use our CTE. But if you're not familiar with CTEs, don't worry, this is just a verification step to make sure what we have done actually makes sense, yeah. And what did I want to say? Actually makes sense. Oh yeah, and if you don't know how CTEs work, also don't worry, I already have a tutorial on that. So you can just go check out that tutorial. So we can call this with data as yeah. So we want to select count distinct business ID from data. So what is just happening is this table that we've created here, we've stored it in a temporary table and calling it data. Then I want to select and count the unique business ID from data, 19. So yeah, we know we've done an inner join. So one of the next tutorials that we're going to be doing is just looking into, what is it called? Looking into like what's a left join, what's a right join. They're not so different, by the way. So what's the difference between an inner join and so what's the difference between an inner join and a right join? So yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. And I'll also be doing a part 2, more advanced inner joins, how to deal with duplicates, etc, etc. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for seeing thank you for staying till the end. Yeah, if this is something you're interested in and you'd like to see more videos, join the family by subscribing. Let me know how you feel, what type of videos you'd like down in the comments below. Like, and yeah, share with anyone who's interested. Otherwise, guys, that's it from me. Thank you for staying to the end. See you in the next one.